Good afternoon, good evening, Facebook. This is the Thursday show with myself, Bridgetti and our special guest today is Mr. Jeff Adams. And hello, Jeff.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And hello, Bridgetti.
Hello, Steven, and hello, Jeff. Nice to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we've got hey from Robert C. Stern. And Robert, if you want to join us in the fourth seat, just type, just a minute if I can find it. If you type guest, you can join us on camera. Now, I'm interested, Jeff. First of all, thanks for joining us. I know that you're preparing for tonight's, or this afternoon's show at 3 p.m. Eastern, so thank you for that. But can you tell us a little bit about the show tonight?
I was challenged yesterday by PTZ Optics crew. You take a bite of a lemon for leukemia, create awareness for leukemia. So I'm doing that on the program as well. That should be interesting because I just bought the lemon. And I'm not too, I looked at it and go, boy, this is going to be a tough one to do live on the air, taking a whole bite of a lemon for leukemia. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for leukemia.
That sounds great. Well, fantastic. Well done.
Are you doing a trial run first, or are you just going to go straight for it?
Going straight for it. So I don't do well with lemons. I'm not a lemon guy, but I saw them do it yesterday. They were using the slow-mo cameras doing it. But since it's a BLIFe program, I won't have the slow-mo option available. But it should be fun nevertheless.
Go, Jeff. Take one for the team.
Yeah, indeed. And it is a very worthy cause. And I just want to take down the photograph and bring up Mr. Robert C. Stern. And what we're actually celebrating, and we started last week, is the fact that we can now have 4 people live on screen. And it's great that we all know each other. And the BLIFe TV.
Guy?
Sorry?
Who's that bearded guy with the microphone? I don't know him.
Oh, it's
just a minute.
Lemon. Drink a glass of sugar water before you take the lemon.
Sugar water?
Put a teaspoon of sugar in the water, stir it up, drink it. The sweetness will help the sour from the lemon when you put it in your mouth.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
See?
I'm going to have to do that. Thank you very much.
Because this way you'll look like a pro now when you do it going, that wasn't that bad.
Let me take another bite.
Tips of the week. Yeah, that would shock everybody. That would shock everybody. All right. Now, I suppose the first question that comes to mind is, what do you feel about the latest updates on BLIFe? If we take it in turn, that'd be good. Jeff first, followed by Bridgetti, and then Robert.
What I think about it, I think it's amazing. It was long overdue, and the ability to have 4 people like ourselves on screen is an amazing thing to have. It makes hosting and producing the show a whole lot better, especially if you have 3 guests plus yourself. You don't have to worry about popping a lot of people in and out like we did before, or someone that might have some interest to bring to the conversation. You don't have to immediately like, hey, let me pop out. Because many times I would have interesting people, and so I would end up popping myself out as the host and let the interesting people talk. So this is a great option to have now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because I did a show on Thursday mornings, and that's got 4 co-hosts. And for 6 months, I've been juggling all through the show, and it did enable me to take a break from time to time. But I love that. Bridgetti, what do you feel about the latest updates?
I'm very excited. I've already started using it, and I really do enjoy having to do just a little bit less juggling. I also absolutely love the fact that it looks great on screen. 4 people just looks a lot more professional than having 3. And even if you don't have 3 guests, you can fill up the other block with an advertisement, your logo, an announcement, or something, and you've got a full, beautiful looking screen. I absolutely love it. I started using it from day one when it became available. As Jeff said, it's something we've been waiting for a really, really long time. And it's fantastic that BLive has been listening to our request and very happy to have it.
Brilliant. Right. That leaves yourself, Robert.
Well, listen, I mean, you know, a lot of us came from the Blab days where we were used to that 4-person format. It felt right. The screen was full. You can interchange people. I love it because of doing interviews. And now, instead of just taking the questions from the audience, if somebody wants to jump on screen with us, or you want to do the share screen to add things, it works great. And it's also great now because of the different formats. I mean, the fact, like even right now, you put me on the top and the 3 on the bottom. If you want to have like a real panel discussion about something, this gives a nice opportunity with the idea of the other features involved. I mean, it's a great situation. And I'm waiting for those extra little features that we're getting, where we get the co-producing and other people can screen share, because that's going to add so much more value.
I agree. And have you any idea when those things will be happening, Jeff? We heard first quarter of this year, so is that still?
I'm sorry, I had my mute button on because I was coughing.
Okay.
I will tell you there is a cool update coming. I don't think it's going to be some of that immediately, but I mean, there are some cool things on the horizons that I've kind of haven't played with, but I've kind of seen some things. But I think I think everybody's going to be extremely happy once again. That's all I can say.
I mean, that's the thing about the BLive team, is that they keep bringing new things out which we want, which we need. And the experience on BLive is just getting better.
It really is. It's you know, based on when you first started using the platform and when I started doing BLive Weekly, like in 2016, it's just a whole different experience now, a lot more reliable. And, you know, the cool thing about it, a lot of the bugs get worked out. There's sometimes if there's like, you know, a ghost in the machine, it's like what I call them, or a gremlin in the machine. They're quick to respond and take care of those things pretty fast. But there is, you know, and that's the first thing. A lot of people want to blame BLive originally for like problems, but the reality of it is Facebook's doing so much updating. It's just not because I can say that I test other things on Facebook Live. It's across the board. So Facebook's doing a lot of updates, and so sometimes it's not BLive's fault. Just always keep that in mind.
Right. Now, the topic today is the power of live, and I suppose if we could just sort of sum up why people should actually go live. Anybody? What
Robert,
do you enjoy about going live?
I mean, to me, it's like, why not? I mean, listen, it also depends why you're using social media. You know, a lot of us use it for business. Not everybody uses it for business. Some people just like to use it the way it was intended when it was born, to just talk with people. But, you know, the way to be able to share journeys and experiences a lot faster instead of just a picture. You know, the idea to have something and be able to interact with people. You know, I remember when when I got first on back in 07 and 08, and I started connecting with all my high school people. And it was great because we could see pictures and we could do things, and we formed the group and we did our high school reunion through it and all that great stuff. But the fact that you could go on live now and actually see the person, not just from a picture, which, you know, high school pictures can be photoshopped just like everything else to make you look better. But it's just that ability, you know, and using it on a business mindset, you know, you got to be using some sort of video and live streaming to be able to do that, because it's the best way for people to get to know you. They get to hear you, they get to see you, they get to know you, you can show things.
Right.
Live streaming is just the way it's going to be. I mean, it's like FaceTiming, but on steroids.
Steven, what about you?
Oh, right. The brighter.
Right on.
Right. First of all, I love.
There. He's like,
I see what you did there. I mean, I've learned a lot. I mean, going back to the days when I was happy to be co-host on the Monday show, which was the original show, which was the best show, but that's purely my opinion.
because you were on it, of course. That's why you made it beautiful, yeah. Steve.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, sir. You're so kind. I think that the magic of live is that there's no hiding place. You've got to be yourself. You can't pretend. You can come out and you can tell your story, and you can tell it by illustrating it or by talking with people, and you can engage the audience. And that's what this is about. This is about making friends, making new connections, and live video is the best way to do that. And in terms of the power of live video, it is in the fact that a live video post will get 6 times more attention than a picture or a text. And that's the magic, it's the power of it. And thank you for the question, Jeff.
Well, I would chime in too. If I think since Facebook went live, it's created a whole different experience of what to expect and how to interact with somebody based on because I've done a ton of shows, a different type of shows, and the shows that do well for me or me in the chat or a guest. I've had in-house people in the studio, and it just doesn't work very well because the interaction is not there, because people are like, oh, they're talking amongst themselves and not paying attention to what's going on in the chat. That's what I would say, the experience about going live now is, from a beginner to a professional, you have to really understand that is your thing. It doesn't matter how big of a, microphone you have, big camera, you can be doing it on your cell phone for crying out loud. But if you know how to engage your audience and keep them captivated and communicate with them, that is the power of live on Facebook Live. To me, is the beauty of that, and the engagement and the shares and the likes, because that's the whole algorithm right now with this stuff is based on the engagement. So for me, it's taught me a whole new skill set of how to, because I used to be able to just talk on a microphone and to a blank wall during radio. So it was easy for me. Now I have to really stay engaged and read the chat at the same time and hosting, it created a whole new skill set for me to act like basically those people in the chat were on a phone call, and that I was constantly, taking all these phone calls. I based that on the chat and learned a whole new skill set. So it's been an amazing experience since Facebook Live was created. And I think the power live is beautiful because anybody can get on here that has a message or wants to vent about something. Everybody has a voice now, and it's like, it's a live diary per se. You know what I mean?
And just so you know, Jeff, you have a very nice large microphone.
Well, it's the voice as well. It's not just the microphone. Bridgetti, and first of all, congratulations on the show that you did with Ross and Rachel. That was on Tuesday. And if you've not seen that show, I suggest that you go to the BLIFbot.tv page and you check it out. It's great for 2 reasons. One is the research that Rachel did before the show, and that shows the power of doing good research about the person you're going to interview. And the second thing is, Bridgetti, you're a star. Over to you.
It was amazing. I mean, the research that Rachel did was phenomenal because it absolutely showed what I was doing with live streaming. Now, as I mentioned the other night, when I initially started live streaming again after Blab, my intention was to showcase the importance of people with disabilities, because they get shoved in the background because you can't see the person's disability, you don't realize they have one, or you minimize what it's about. And because I live with an invisible disability, I felt I wanted to be that voice for other people who live with invisible disabilities. And I initially started doing that, but then I realized, we had a water crisis in Cape Town in South Africa, and the more I looked at it, I realized this was going to become quite a huge event in my life, in the lives of others, in the lives of business in South Africa, for tourists who come to South Africa, not only local tourists, but international tourists. And I realized there was a message that needed to go out. And I realized that with the power of live streaming, I could use this power of live streaming to engage people, to inform them about what was happening, and to interview people who are experts in the field with regards to solutions. And it's been a phenomenal journey. I often realize, sometimes I think, why am I doing this? No one's paying me to do this. I don't have a sponsor for my show. And it does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of research, even though I enjoy it and I feel it's a social good initiative. But the feedback I get from people lately has been phenomenal. People keep saying to me, please don't stop doing what you're doing. If you didn't do what you do, I wouldn't have this information at my fingertips. And I really appreciate the value of the people that you interview. And then it took another unexpected turn, getting contacted by people, radio stations, TV stations, and they started interviewing me. That was completely unexpected, but that's all due to the power of live streaming.
It is. I mean, that's the magic of live streaming, and the fact that you've taken such an important issue and you've made the world aware of it through doing lives on Facebook using BLIFbot.tv and other platforms, and giving everybody a voice and giving people information, because that's the key. Because in a situation where you're facing a water crisis, what you need to know is how it affects you and what you need to do. And well, kudos for doing all that. Jeff, I know that you said you joined us for a short while, and I know you're preparing for a show. Have you any thoughts, or are you going to stay with us? Are we doing that well that you stay with us? It's up to you.
Well, I do have to go over my notes and do a couple technical things before I go on. So, but closing remarks, Be Live in 5. Oh, and closing remarks also is Stephen Healy, always killing it, giving Be Live tutorials and fantastic ways. I mean, I'm a moderator in the Be Livers group, and before I said, hey, there's a notification if someone wants to come in the group, but immediately it's approved by Stephen Healy. I'm like, what? I can't even approve anybody. This guy's on.
Stephen Healy does not sleep.
He does not.
He does.
But thanks for all the work you put in the Be Livers group and all you do for Be Live. It's really, really awesome.
Jeff, thank you for those very kind words. I wish you all success on the show tonight. And take Robert's tip, and you'll amaze everybody when you actually bite that lemon.
Right. What I'm going to do. Thanks, Robert.
Not a problem, Jeff. Anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye.
Right. And that was brilliant. And we continue the show, and we're now joined by
here I am.
Our grand entrance, Peter. I like that. That was good.
Oh my God, Peekaboo Peter.
The postman always rings twice.
Oh, careful.
Hey, Peter, I'm gonna jump in here for a minute, Stephen.
Yeah, really.
There's a couple of people in the chat. Elaine says, I haven't tried the 4 People Talk Hangouts host with multi-guest shows. Know what fun it's going to be. So Elaine, please go ahead and try that. Gazala says, hats off to Stephen. And absolutely, Stephen, yes, hats off to you, the man who never sleeps. Tish says the same. She says, I'm glad Stephen never sleeps.
Right. So, what's the subject today?
You want you want an agenda? We don't have an agenda. Robert's here.
Agenda. Right.
He always goes back to me.
No. When Robert's on the show, it's a free for all agenda, And I mean, now that Jeff is gone, it's like
Let me just ask a question here.
No,
to the panel.
Right. Okay.
Why is it when I'm on, there's no agenda? Where did that start?
We get sidetracked. Basically,
your reputation precedes you.
Right.
Right. Peter, we've all had to say about the power of live video, and how do you feel about people using video?
Well, I'll give you a few instances. I told you this the other day, but for the rest of you, I do a lot of networking in my city, and most people know me. And but I met two guys at this network. We were sitting waiting to go in. It was actually in the council buildings, and I always make conversation. There was two guys there with their name on the. This is, oh, I see your company. I says, I haven't came across you before. What do you do? And they said, we do this and that. And then they says, but we know who you are. I says, really? Who am I then? They says, you're the Talkinator. Now, I was expecting to say, you're Peter Stewart, the pest control man. But they said, you are the Talkinator. I says, that's right. So they'd been looking at the video. Robert, what's the matter? Can you not hear?
Oh, I was reading something. Sorry.
All right, okay. See, that's the thing about video. You know when somebody's not listening to you, right? You see them looking at something else.
I'll do this next time, Peter, okay? I'll do this.
So it is out there. I've had a lot of people coming over to me and saying, oh, I've seen your videos over the years. Now, what I want to know is, who's using video over in the States that is doing something different? Is there a pest control man? Is MD in pest control doing what I'm going to be doing shortly? Have you seen anything like that yet in any of your countries?
What sort of service businesses?
There is a pest guy in Florida who does some things. I'll get you the link. He's got a YouTube channel and he does some live stuff.
Right.
It's a little overboard.
Okay.
But he does do some stuff.
Right. Okay. So that's interesting. Now the other thing, I you know, there's no free lunch, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
You've heard the saying. So I get called on Tuesday morning at 7:15, and a text or whatever it was, by Edward, who will be a friend of mine who runs a network on a Tuesday, and he says, Peter, someone's dropped out. I've got a ticket for you. I says, oh, fantastic. And I said, if I give a talk for it. And he said, yeah. And he laughed. And I thought, well, no, I was joking, because the last time he'd done that to me, I had to give a talk. So I went along there and I sat down and in the room. And then he turned to me and said, so what are you talking about? I went, Edward. I says, I thought you were joking. And they've got all these people in the room. So what I spoke about is I got up and I asked them, every one of them, I went round the room. I says, who's using video in their business? And it went down very well. And we just spoke about everything that we do on here. And one woman's contacted me and said, thank you very much for all that information. And then I got back there again and says, what did you learn then? And it was amazing what she'd written down about the timing of it, getting people there to it, how to spread the word. So I think I should get a course up and running in Aberdeen, how to gain more business using video. I fancy doing that. Yes.
Right. I'd like I'm be honest here. I'm going to take a break for 2 minutes, a couple of minutes, and I'm going to introduce our friend Guy Cook. And okay, so round of applause for Guy.
Hello.
Here's Guy.
Oh yeah, you're hired. I can afford that.
In a minute, he'll pop up. Just waiting for him to show his face.
Okay, it's not popped up yet.
No, you're up.
Ah, there we go.
Okay,
Welcome.
my question is for you, young lady with the pearls. I'm referencing that so we know who I'm talking to. How big is the sign behind your head? That's my riddle. I keep seeing these people with posters. Robert, not so much. You'll have to change that picture behind your head. And I know you can draw one. Anyway, I'm thinking, in order to further enhance my new branding, I came up with a new logo on Ripple. I want to make a picture and put it on the wall behind me. So is that 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to make it show up, or is it bigger than that?
It's just marginally bigger than the white portion is just marginally bigger than an A4 page.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's not very big at all. It's just a fraction bigger.
I used to sell printing, and so I know what the dimensions of A4 are. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna do the Friday wrap-up show. I'm recording them a day early now, and so to build the future, we must get to doing it, and that way I won't talk on forever. But thank you for that, Brigitte. And if I'm saying it wrong, just correct. You can correct me.
It's Bridgetti.
Bridgetti.
Okay, thank you. So I was thinking, that's not right, but it was close. I started with a B. It's better than calling you Jane.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna let the host of the most come back to this. Thank you, Stephen, for giving me a couple of minutes. Bye.
Okay. Right. What I want to know then is if I could sum up at the moment how I am progressing, I would use one word at the moment: frustrated. Yeah. Because if you can look behind me, my partner gets annoyed at me. I've got an office outside, but we had some work done. It's just, I can't get into it. It's just crammed with stuff, and I have to set up quickly in the room. That's why I use an iPad. And so I'm frustrated that I just really can't get on with what I want to do. And yeah, so I need to get back. I'm really fresh into that. So frustrated is the thing for me. Because I know there's a lot that I want to do,
Well, we've got a saying which I think the three of us shares: just do it. I mean, there is, you can think about it, but nothing happens. And I'd just go for it. I'd say, right, okay, this Monday I'm going to go live, 7 p.m. Be there, be square, as we say in the UK, and just do it. Robert, your thoughts?
Well, I'm just trying to figure if the be there, be square actually came from England. No, listen, I mean, I don't know the exact saying. I don't know who said it or anything, but 90% of the time, people don't do something, and there is an echo again. I hear it on somebody's. Does somebody have a thing open?
I'll get. Let's take it in turn. I'll drop down and just carry on talking, Robert.
All right. Nope, still hear the echo.
Just a minute.
Okay, I'm going to drop down.
Okay. Right, how do we now?
No, I still hear a slight echo.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And
I feel like we're playing that Womping game, one by one they drop. Nope, now I hear no echo.
Right. Okay. Peter is going to make technical adjustments, and we'll rejoin this moment. Bridgetti, thank you for joining us earlier. That was brilliant. If you do want to join us on camera, please type guest to join us. And
you got some great people. I noticed that I don't think I know some of them. Like Cheryl's in the room, and Lindsay I know. Katarina. Love to see some new faces pop up here.
That's it.
And what about Gazala?
Indeed, all people new to us. Some have been involved in broadcasting for a while, but are new to BLIFbot.tv.
Yeah, because Gazala said she snowed in. What a great way to come in, then. You're not doing anything anyway. But what I was saying is that there's this whole, I don't know who said it or anything else, but 90% of the time people don't do things because they're planning too much. They just keep planning, and they're trying to make it perfect, and they want it to work out exactly a certain way, but then something pops up, and then something pops up in their planning, and something pops up. Well, guess what? If you never hit the button and just do it, you won't do it because you're planning too much. Nothing is ever perfect, and this was a prime example. We had echo.
Yeah. We had echo, and we know why, and will be resolved now.
And as Cheryl just wrote, overthinking. People overthink too much, and they don't hit the button and go live.
That's it. I mean, there is, as we know, with live, it's a question of practice. Welcome back, Peter.
Hello.
Can you hear? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear
Don't stop singing. Stop singing. Stop. Look.
Oh my goodness! Now I know why I don't visit Scotland.
You can sing, but you know, I mean, you do it professionally. What I'm saying is, don't sing on a live video, otherwise Facebook will get fed up.
Unless you're a professional singer.
I don't know if they do that because my friend broadcasts every week, and my friend that comes on, he actually's got a radio show on there playing music. So what's that all about then?
He's getting away with murder. Trust me, I'll catch you.
Okay. Yeah.
Cheryl, you should be coming on. You're new to this.
Yes, come on. But no, yeah, you're right enough. It's just a matter of time and getting. I'm feeling much healthier now. I'm even jogging now. In fact, my Monday night slot's gone now because I go jogging in a group. So it's just a case of getting out in there and do it. See, I had it like Bridgetti and I were meeting up and we got the timing wrong, right? And that was about 3 weeks ago, and they're all set up, and we missed each other, and never got back. That was it. But let me give a tip to some people that may be listening in. When I first started going out singing, I kid you not, one night I sang to an empty bar room. I'm hearing a lot of noise in the background, by the way, folks. I sang to an empty bar room. And I went up and I went on a little stage and I just sang. I says, I'm going to use this for practice. Somebody's tapping away. Who's tapping?
It's not at my
Not
end.
me.
Not me.
Somebody's there tapping away.
Yeah, it's okay. If do you want me to drop you down, Peter, or do you want to continue?
No, I'll continue. Right. So basically what happened was I was in that bar room. And I was looking and singing at cheers. And I pretended this place is full. But once I started singing, and this is for people that are maybe going to do a show, guess what? The door opened and people started coming in and taking a seat at the bar. And there was 1 or 2 and then 3 or 4. And by the end of the night, there were people there, you know. And I think it's the same with this. You go on and you're sitting maybe in the room on your own, and eventually people will come in. Because I would really love to do an evening talk show about today's of the events in my home city that week, and maybe even do it in Britain and get people come on and do it. Because people love, as Stephen knows, people love to come on and say their bit.
Talking of people who love to come on, we have a new guest today, and Elaine is ready to join us. I'm going to drop down and introduce Elaine and Bridgetti. Over to you. Or Robert. Or Peter's gone now. This is live video. I'm going to drop down.
Peter just got an idea. The light bulb went on.
Yeah, he did, and he decided to drop down and close the door behind him, or open the door.
Elaine!
Robert, I think this is our first time.
I'm still waiting to see Elaine. I haven't yet. She hasn't popped up on my screen yet.
It might be an internet thing slowing down.
There we go. There we go.
Elaine has tried to come on a couple of my Facebook lives once in a while from the phone, and we couldn't get it working.
So I'm greeting you from Maryland. I love it sitting in my little space here in Maryland, seeing the inside of the dashboard and seeing the comments from the comment stream come on up where I can see it there, not just here. Mm-hmm. How exciting is that? So this is my first time in this place. Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, the new dashboard, I love the fact that everyone can now see the live comments. You don't feel so excluded any longer. And you can see the reactions. So you can basically get a good feel for how the broadcast is going. Because before, as a guest, you had no idea what was happening on. You were entirely in the hands of whoever was producing it. And if they didn't show a comment, you wouldn't see it. And sometimes you couldn't read the entire comment. So that was lost to you. So it makes the broadcast a lot more interactive. So Elaine, what do you do? What do you live stream about?
I live stream about bringing TLC into your whole life. So we could call that today's laughter care or making timely live stream connections. I happen to be a holistic nurse turned business coach now, as it turns out. And the main thing is, if you want to be effective in the world, connecting with other people for any purpose or growing your business, it's like keep connecting with the real you, the heart of you, even the failing forward you, and that authenticity will help you bring the most blessing forth in the world.
I totally agree with you, and we tend to forget that people can sense and they can see whether or not you're authentic online. And that's one of the nice things about live streaming. It actually allows people to pull back the curtain and literally see who you are. And that's why it's such a great platform for anyone who's in business, who want to connect with their customers, their clients. Or, for example, somebody who wants to employ people, let people know why they would want to work for you or join your company. Peel back and say, well, this is why we're great. You can't do that on a blog. You can't do that on a website, but you certainly can on a live stream because you allow people to see the real you. And that's what live streaming is about, being you.
And what I love is that, for folks who are just starting out doing live streaming, if they do it in a safe place, just getting comfortable, being themselves, and maybe they're not sharing it even on their, personal profile yet, let alone their business page, getting comfortable with that real you showing up is really helpful. And then as your visibility expands, with the boost that this live video gets, then everybody, especially who's an entrepreneur, is more prepared to do video, which tends to be more one way, but video and all the other places that is helpful. Doing a video on a lead page, doing a video as a greeting on your website, putting a video in a thank you to someone who joins your group or engages you, in some way. So all the ways that we start doing this live streaming and getting comfortable being real, it blesses and enables us to use video so many other ways in our businesses.
You've got a fan.
Well said. Well said.
You are learning
Yes,
well,
that's
Jedi.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually a Veterans Hangouts hostess. I got into this thing in late 2013, learning from Alex Mendocian in a group setting where everything was gamified, to keep us really engaged, having a good experience, learning together. And then I think the first Hangout series I did was doing an online book club, a live book club, with the launch of Danielle Laporte's book, The Desire Map. And I show this often to people and groups, but it's a quote of hers that says, and I had it ready, "The journey has to feel the way you want the destination to feel." It's like, don't wait until, you accomplish something to feel good. It's like, what is the way you want to feel good today? Do that now. Let that vibe and that energy just flow you forward and bless everybody you meet. And then you're not waiting for the future, for your good experience. But back to my story. So that was my first experience, doing live thing and interacting with folks. And then I got really, I'll use the word courageous or even ballsy. I was involved with the laughter yoga community. And the first Sunday in May, was something called World Laughter Day. And I thought, there are these laughter enthusiasts for health all around the world. They do events the first Sunday in May. Maybe I could offer the founder of Laughter Yoga, maybe I could produce a live event, getting people from all over the world doing laughter and celebrating this Laughter for Health and Peace movement. And so I did it. I just got this crazy idea, just like you said. I don't know if this is going to fail. I don't know if this is going to fly. But it ended up succeeding. And then from there, I actually went on and then a couple months later launched a show that I called the Holy Shift Show. And I wasn't content just to have one other person. I usually had multiple people. And Hangouts at that time had something called Comment Tracker. So we could bring the comments onto the screen. Anybody remember that? If you watched Hangouts at all. But when I was remarking about how great it was, here in the dashboard room and seeing the comments come up, I couldn't remember what it was like as a guest on Hangouts, whether they could actually see the comments come up in the show. I don't think they could unless they had another window open, where they were kind of from time to time looking at the screen and seeing what comments the host was putting up. But BLIve makes it so easy for everybody. So I'm just getting ready to get fired up, really get my own show going.
Stop getting ready and do it.
Oh, well, I've done a couple Wednesdays, and we had some tech glitches, but I'm still here. Hey,
Elaine, what time did you find the best time that you're going on? Did you find the best time to do the show?
I haven't found the best time yet. I did one in the evening. I got lots of people. I'm in Eastern time zone.
You're with me.
So, there's some people, in the Eastern time zone who their busy workday is done. So that might engage one audience. I thought for trying to engage more people who are connected with business related things, entrepreneurs, me probably broadcasting midday makes more sense, for getting people who might have a window of availability. But I don't know. I'll be experimenting.
Yeah. So the thing I'm trying, Robert and we talk about, it's the after show, people looking after the show. Yeah. But do they watch the whole show? Or do they just have a quick look and say, oh yeah, for a live show they might listen in? That's another thing that I'm trying to toy about with. What's your views on that?
Peter, do your show. Stop worrying about live and replays. Just do it.
Again,
you're focusing too much. You're focusing on too much about time and who's going to be on and what's the replay. Just do the show and then tweak from what you see.
But my advertisers will need to know when I charge them a bill.
But you got to do your show first to see what you're going to have to be able to go to somebody to charge them as a sponsor.
Did you know me before when I was on as the Talkinator every week?
No.
No, you didn't. Okay,
I just knew you as a Talkinator.
Yeah, the Talkinator show did build up an audience. People, I would get stopped in the street and called the Talkinator. So it worked before. Then I had my medical problems. So that's what put an end to it, really.
Big question. Everybody says, "What's the best time to do it?" Just start doing it. It's going to be different for everybody.
I want to agree with you absolutely, Robert, because the thing is, if you're doing in my case, for example, with what I do, the water crisis, my audience is mainly local, so I'm going to take that into consideration. But if my audience was not, if I was doing live streaming about invisible disabilities, for example, my audience would not be local. They would be an international audience. And so I would choose any time really, because it's 24/7. You know, people are going to watch that broadcast, and I don't really care if there's 0 people watching at the time, because most of the viewers are actually after the broadcast ends on the replay within the next 3, 4, 5 days. You're going to see that numbers just growing and growing and growing. So, you know, having a broadcast, even with 0 people live watching, you've got to carry on as if you've got exactly what you said earlier, Peter, about when you started singing and there was nobody there. Carry on as if you've got this larger than life audience and just go for it. And then the other thing I wanted to say, talking to what you said earlier, Elaine, about commenting, I have found that people simply love the validation of you acknowledging them in the audience and putting their comment on screen. People thrive on that. They love the acknowledgement. They love the and it's because it's so very, very different from traditional media. Traditional media is one way. This is more than just two-way, because you're engaging with your guests and you're engaging with your audience. You know, it is a phenomenal platform for just about anything. It is the engagement is amazing. I just heard the other day somebody was saying that they want to start a weekly. We're actually going to offer a service to companies where they say to companies, "I will run a live stream for you once a week where you can engage your customers." What better customer service than that? You know, where customers can come and they can say online what the issues are they're having, or say it's a great product or whatever, and you offer that service to companies, because still a lot of people are not comfortable using live streaming. So if you are a live streamer, what a great service to be offering people.
Yeah.
So there are various ways that one can use live streaming for. Has Peter disappeared on us?
No, because Steven said, I got to jump in for a minute.
Well, yeah, I wanted to come back.
Okay, I wasn't watching that. So Steven's coming back to take control of us.
Right.
You know, I think we've kind of taken over your show here. So here we go.
No, this is our show. So that's the main thing. That everybody who's in the show, it's our show. That's the first thing, because this is networking. This is getting to know people and to learn about what we all do. And it's just fascinating to actually now have four people on screen. This is going to sound crazy or counterintuitive. It's easier to manage the show from the lobby than it was before, because you've got greater interaction between people, and it's just a joy to use. I'm just enjoying this. Right, we are talking about the power of live video. I think we agreed it is very, very powerful, and it's also the joy of live video as well, because it's a don't go there, Robert. It is a pleasure.
Again, it goes right back on me.
Robert, your face says it all. You know, we can sit there, we can be listening to somebody else, and we just have to check out your face, and we just kind of know when you are just bursting to say something. You can't hide, you know, you just cannot hide.
I'm going to take a 30-day challenge of not being on live and see what happens. You all are going to miss me.
Never happen.
See?
Never happen.
No, I can't see it happening either. And Tish, thank you. Tish is saying, glad that was said. Now, I'll bring Peter back in a moment, but I want to talk to
Steven. I'm going to scoot.
Okay.
I need to go, everyone. I told Steven in advance my back, and so I need to get out of the chair and move around a bit. So from me, Bridgetti and Steven, Cape Town in South Africa, have a great evening, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the show. It was great hanging out with you all. Robert, thanks for the laughs always. And Steven, thanks for keeping everything together and in one place. And Elaine, was lovely meeting you. So till next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, Bridgetti.
Bye, Bridgetti.
Bye, Bridgetti. Take care. See you tomorrow. And there that leaves a space. And who better to fill the space than Peter? Welcome back, Peter.
The singing bug.
I was gonna,
Yeah.
I was gonna wait to sing another song there when I come back, but then I thought better not. It's a
Well,
Gary Glitter one.
We don't want the show to be pulled. That, I mean, I'm not. It did happen. It did happen to one of the shows. The show
Yeah, but
was
I don't
there
think
one
that
day
was
and
a
gone the
reason.
next.
I don't think that was a reason. Anyway, can you tell me how I look just now? Not as a person, I know I'm pretty, but can you tell me what's it like?
You want to get? I'll put you full screen, Peter. Then
Is it
everybody
looking
can.
pale? It looks pale to me.
Looks fine.
It looks good.
I can't see
Yeah,
myself.
we can't see the
pale.
top of your head.
Can you not?
No,
How's that?
that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you centered. That's good.
If you take a piece of paper with some tape and put it over the little hole, it'll be the perfect picture.
All right. Okay.
He's not getting the joke, Steven.
I know.
That was. I don't want to be referee here.
No.
A little better centered now, Peter.
Oh, Steven, that's what I have to get you.
What?
Yeah.
I have to get you a polo shirt that's got black and white stripes.
All right.
Okay, just a minute. Right. Okay. Thank you.
The referee.
To be the referee.
And then we'll give you a yellow card and a red card.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. We've got a situation over in the UK because we play football, real football, and now the referees. There are now one referee, two linesmen, and a video assistant referee, and he is creating havoc because every single contentious decision is referred to the video referee, and it stops the game.
Yep,
which is not good. And he watches the replay, and he doesn't always get the right decision. That's the problem.
We've had it in football for years.
Yeah, well, we've had it. I mean, we've had it in cricket, but we just introduced it.
No, you're not supposed to talk about cricket, Stuart.
No,
I'm banned from talking about cricket. Peter knows that. I mean, whenever I talk about cricket, they just all the cast of Blubbing for Britain on a Thursday morning go to sleep.
Right, so
we got a new guest in the audience. I see Annie's here. Hello.
I'm wanting to know the future. What do you think the future is with all of this? What can you see a year from now? Not in BLIFe, but is a year from now, where will we be business-wise? Is it going to be a business tool with Facebook?
It already is to some extent, isn't it, Robert?
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Live streaming and video, within 2 years, 80% of all social media will be live stream and video.
Right.
Which means putting up pictures, you'll get noticed better.
Yes.
Always do the opposite of what the big thing is, because then you get noticed.
So put up a picture as well as your video live. Yeah. Because that's interesting. I don't use LinkedIn much, but I put a picture of when I was in the forces in Berlin, and it got the most views ever. The picture of us in Berlin with our tanks in front of the
Put a video up on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a video went up on YouTube yesterday, which is doing very well, and it was a recording of a wedding taken in 19 and that's doing well, and it's helping the channel. Angelica's parents were married in the 40s, and video can go viral. Have we seen many shows go viral on Facebook yet? From the people that we know.
Well, we have that one woman. Her show is actually on Facebook Watch now. I forgot her name. She does a show. April knows her.
Yes.
She does the mommy show or something.
Oh, yes, the PR lady, the PR lady.
Hers just got picked up into Facebook Watch.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Elaine was going to say something, weren't you?
No, I think Elaine got frozen.
Oh. Right.
Elaine is frozen.
It's a good shot. It looks like a headshot, but it's...
It does. Right, good. Okay, so we go from 4 people on screen to 3. Elaine, if you could refresh and come back in as we come up to the close of the program. It's been a blast again, gentlemen. Now, Peter, you've got to get this show going on Monday. If you want the first couple, if you want a producer in the background, just give me a nod.
It's all a matter of timing now, because 2 nights a week I'm going to go jogging, which is taking the slot I used to do. So that leaves a Tuesday night free. It might have to be a Tuesday.
Peter?
Yeah.
How long do you jog for?
Well, I used to go on at 7 o'clock, so the jogging is 6:30 until 7:30, then I have to make my way back home.
Okay, so you could do the show before you jog.
Yeah, but it's getting the time, maybe 5:30 or something, 5:30 to 6:30, and then I'll be sitting.
You always find a way to work it around.
Well, I'll probably do it on a Tuesday now. I might do it on a Tuesday's my only free night, and then sometimes I go to Toastmasters on a Thursday. But I'm going to do my pest control one. I'm going to do it at about 3:30 in the afternoon, because my employee's coming in then, and
give it a shot.
And we'll just try and see how it goes, you know, because he listens to podcasts from America about pest control.
Well, we wish you every success with that, Peter. And if you let me know, we'll promote it on BLIFbot as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Neat.
Yeah. Well, I ask this question every time and I get the same answer. Robert, do you have any thoughts that we can carry with us throughout tomorrow and the weekend? And just remember that Peter and I are snowed in at the moment, and the only thing we can do is live video.
I did that, I think, in last year. I had one time where I just called somebody up. I said, let's go do something, because we had like 2 feet of snow outside. I said, we might as well use the day to our advantage. Listen, what we were discussing earlier, and Cheryl was talking about it, and in the chat and everything. We're overthinking. People are overthinking. People are planning. And I understand you need to plan to do things. I understand that side of it. But don't overplan that you never do it. You got to just get on there. And like I said with Peter, there is no special time. You just got to try different things and see how they work. Mm-hmm. Everything on social media is trial and error, including live streaming, including the right time, the right subject, the right value, the right content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So until you start doing it,
it's quite amazing, because Stephen knows I like politics and listen to politics. And do you know that you've obviously had a Nigel Farage who come over to America and seen Mr. Trump? Do you know, people wait for the shows, the political shows. They're waiting, and if it doesn't go on for some reason, they're complaining. And where were you? And I think local news and views would be a fantastic show. It's getting to the people, because people listen to radio, live radio, big time, time, you know. Yeah,
indeed. Well, what a show. Thank you to everybody who's watched live, and a special thank you to Jeff, to Bridgetti, to Elaine, and of course to the people on either side of me, to Peter and Stewart. This is what makes the world go round, and we look forward to seeing you. Robert's got his show, Peter will have his show, and I'll be back with Bridgetti tomorrow. So have a great day, and we'll see you all again soon. And from the UK, the USA, and from Scotland, it's goodbye for now. Goodbye.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.